Afternoon, evening, good morning, no matter where you are in this world, I think I got you covered. Pop in, let me know where you're from. I'm going to just grab my phone here and I'm going to put it upside down because I do so many Instagram lives that I keep looking at the phone thinking that that's my camera, right? So I want to make sure that I am covered, that I am on YouTube and I'm with everybody 100%. I'm just turning the volume down here. Welcome. If you haven't seen my new apartment, this is a little bit of my apartment here. Doesn't this look nice? I'm really, really pleased. I broke my tripod, so I'm just a little bit of an adapt and conquer kind of girl, and I just have my webcam sitting up against a deck of Oracle cards. But it's working, isn't it? As you come in, say hi. My moderators hopefully will be in shortly, and they yap more than I do. I'm just looking at my notifications here. Gopal Das just uploaded something, so I'll have to make sure I pop into his YouTube channel and see what's going on. Yeah, you guys, I'm really, really getting settled in on my apartment. I'm so pleased. Oh, Sharon's here. Sharon's here first. Holy cow. I just looked at the date when I was writing the date in the title of my live tonight, and I have only been in this apartment for 11 days now, 11 days. And today is actually a day that I was supposed to stay home all weekend. I went out, got a few groceries. I was going to start my diet today. I was going to do little projects around the house for the next couple of days and not go out. Didn't exactly work that way. I had to make a trip to the hardware store. I needed screws. I needed L brackets because I want to put up some of my really nice ornaments onto the wall. But I want to make sure that the shelves are truly secure, especially when I put my big bowl of rocks up there. I'm going to tumble a lot of them because oh, by the way, Sharon, I have your tape deck and your cassette already packed and ready to go. I know I've got your license. I have your address. I have it in an envelope, but just in case I don't have your address, which I'm pretty certain I do, could you send it to me again, Sharon? Just in case I don't find those papers. I've got two big file cabinets. I was going to go and dig through them here, my file folders, and see if I can find those addresses. You know what? Seeing you're here anyway, I might as well just ask you, and you can send me your address again, and I'll mail off that tape recorder and those cassettes for you. So yeah, I would like to see you do some poetry, and I would sure like to see you do some your that would be nice, Sharon. That would be nice, right? Let me know how your son is doing. Let me know how you're doing when you send me your address. I'd love to know. And yeah, I hope you write some good poems, and I hope you write some good stories. But yeah, I'll get that sent off to you ASAP. I found the perfect box for it. It was actually the box that I got for these lights. And let me switch them up here, people. I should have taped my remote control a little bit closer, but let's see what I've got here. And just change it. Here, this works. Let's see if I go dizzy. Oh, wow, Cindy's got a disco going on. Let's change that. We need something a little bit slower. That's still too fast. That's a little bit better. That's okay, right? It's a little bit slower, right? Not like I have a disco or anything, but I really like my lights. I really like my big window. It's really quite nice to look out. But I do need a much bigger desk. I'm not comfortable here. I just started taking notes on day number 11. Today was the first day that I've been back at taking my notes. I have not taken any notes at all in 11 days, so I'm kind of perturbed by that. But my lessons haven't changed. I mean, I'm still managing to get to get all my lessons in, and I'm really getting some good ones this week, right? But at the same time, I'm trying to get stuff done. Oh, Kathy's here too. Kathy's here too. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see if the guys show up tonight too. When you pop in, if you throw me a little thumbs up, that helps YouTube know that you guys are watching my videos, and they'll send notifications out to some more people that maybe could use a little bit of company, right? We never know what's going on in these lives. But, each week we'll try a different set, because I have three or four different sets that I can use in my live. So it'll be able to mix it up really nice, right? I'm hoping to anyway. And I don't really want to mess with this camera. Otherwise, I'd let everybody see my amazing little apartment that I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. And, oh, there we go. That works a little bit, doesn't it? And then you can see my lights a little bit. That's cool. I really, really, really like my lights. I really like my lights. And I'm really grateful to have this apartment. It was just a miracle the way I got this apartment. And I really love how I just settled in, and I just kind of walked into it. Like, as much of the stress was taken off me. Right. And at the same time, I was able to help my family out because, I hired them as my movers. So they were able to make a few extra dollars. I got to stay in the exact same neighborhood almost that I was already living in. I have great bus service. I live close to all the conveniences of bus, of grocery stores. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty decent place. As I'm getting my footing, right? And as I'm taking my breather, because that's what it is. It's only a breather. It's not, okay, Cindy, you've got your house. You're paying $368 a month. You're good. You're golden, right? Enjoy your life. No, that's not the way it works. At least it doesn't work that way with me, right? We're just taking a breather. And then I'm going to be diving right back in as heavy and maybe even heavier than what I was doing, right? Because, as we get stronger, we can carry a little bit more of the burden, right? We can carry a little bit more of the burden. Oh, Melvin's here too. You guys get those notifications before I do, because I can't see Melvin. Oh, there's Melvin. Okay. Yes. Evening, Melvin. Oh, so good. And I bought a new coffee mug today because I collect owls. So I bought a new owl coffee mug. It cost me 50 cents. This one cost me 75, but it was extra spectacular. No, it didn't cost me 75 because I got 30% off of that. So it cost me 50 cents too, right? So I guess the other mug cost me like a quarter or something. But if anybody speaks French, if anybody knows what this mug says, I have no idea. I think it's in French, or maybe it's in Spanish. If anybody knows what it says, can you let me know what it says? I would love to know. All I know is I really, really like the graphics. I love the oranges. I love the blues. They go really well with my brand. They go really well with my dress, my sweater dress, right? But yeah, I have a really, really nice neighborhood. Sharon, we would have driven by this one. Oh, no. Sharon, you know exactly where it is. You know exactly where this is. It's 1 block away. It's 1 block away in front of the record store that you got those albums for your son, right? Where you went for a walk in the evening. Remember Osborne Street, that busy street that you went for a walk all by yourself when I went for a bike ride, right? It's that street. I live right there, right behind that fire station there. I live like one building down from there, Sharon. You know exactly where I live. I think you know exactly where I live. But everybody, I picked something up this week too, right? Why was I getting upset with you, Melvin? I wasn't getting upset with you. I don't get upset. Well, maybe I get upset, but I don't think I was, yes, exactly. I knew you knew where it was, Sharon. I just had to think, but I remembered you bought your son those record albums on Osborne. So yeah, that's only one block away from where my building is. So yeah, right in the same neighborhood. Oh, good cup of coffee. But I did get something at work. It cost me $5, and I showed it to everybody on my Instagram, but I didn't show it to the people on YouTube. But I got a rock tumbler, people. All those pebbles, all those beautiful stones that I got, I'm gonna polish them. I don't know how much noise this machine makes. I'm gonna assume it makes quite a bit of noise. And you have to have it on for like a week. Those rocks have to tumble for a week. And I know my neighbor already complained about the fire or the alarm clock going off. But we'll see. We'll see how loud this is. Because I sure would love to polish some rocks. The kid actually came with some rocks, but I have my own rocks. I have some amazing rocks that I picked up on my explorers and my different adventures and in my travels, and I would love to polish them. And when they're polished, I'm going to send them off to people. I'll charge $5 or something, and it'll be my first entrepreneur enterprise will be my rocks, right? This summer, I hope that I'll be able to get some amethyst hunting in this week and get some crystals too. My sister started a website. I think I might do a couple of pages in her website and then just share the cut of what I sell things for. And yeah, maybe me and my sister will kind of go into business a little bit, right? Maybe I could travel and do my outdoor explores and go to different places and get different kinds of crystals. I was watching the crystal collector today, and he was getting some really beautiful, beautiful crystals from Arkansas. There's lots of crystals in Arkansas, right? But not too many here in Manitoba for crystals. Mind you, down by Lockport, they're doing some construction down there, and they've been digging up crystals for the past couple of years, but they're protected, and they only let the rockhound clubs come in and pick them up. But yeah, so everybody, I got a rock tumbler, so I'm going to do some polishing, rock polishing there, and I'm going to get those pebbles out. Oh, awesome. Andrew's here too. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Owen. Wow, everybody's coming in today. Yeah, it has been a busy, busy week. You know, I was totally exhausted. I was trying to get this place all sorted out. I was coming home from work, and I was so tired. But when I was coming home from work, I was having all these plans on things that I was going to get done around the house and things. And oh, Dave's here. Dave popped in too. Hi, Dave. Yeah, so I had all these plans to get things done each night coming home from work, and I would just come home from work and I wouldn't even watch videos, right? I'm committed to check on what everybody's doing on Instagram and my network and stuff, but I'm so booked, I don't have much energy for too much, right? I've been watching Curiosity Incorporated. I don't know who else out there has been watching Curiosity Incorporated, and he was just having his auctions from that big hoarding house that he bought, and he was selling off all the jewelry and stuff. So I was just finishing up that video on his auction to see how his jewelry went. He did pretty good for himself. That guy did pretty good for himself. He had a pretty good score there, even though he didn't get all that clothes, right? He didn't realize how much of that house was actually designer clothes. And if he had the opportunity to do it again, you know, he wouldn't have made the mistake. And it really wasn't a mistake. I mean, you know, somebody else cleaned out that mess, and that was a big mess to clean out of that house. But But yeah, you're right, Sharon. Yeah. And so that's what I was doing. I was watching Curiosity Incorporated, and then I did my live show on Instagram tonight, and now I'm with you on YouTube, and we do an hour and a half every Sunday. We do an hour and a half, and I know it gets pretty late on some part of the coast, but you know what? We'll change things to adapt a little bit better as the scheduling of my life alleviates a little bit more, or things change there, then we can change things a little bit, because there's always different ways to go about it, right? But everybody now is kind of getting used to this 7 o'clock on or 7:30 on Sundays, and it's been working out really, really well for us, and we've become very dear friends to each other, right? And haven't we supported each other? Nancy's not here today, but I talked to Nancy a couple of days ago, and yeah, they got a real mess going on in Seattle, right? So she's just kind of watching out for herself and what's going on in Seattle right now. She says she's ready to just up and leave, right? If she has to, like she's ready to move, right? That woman is a survivor, no doubt. And if there's any way that she can get here, right? I can't have people live with me or anything, but I can have visitors, and I'm sure it will be absolutely fine if she stayed with me for a week or a couple of weeks. I'm sure it would be absolutely just fine, right? But if she's going to do that, I would say come out in the spring and summer when I have my car, Nancy, and then we'll just pack you in the car and we'll just go exploring. We'll just go exploring, right? And I'm waiting back for Nancy to tell me about my Inuit painting of the killer whale, right? Holy cow, Canada, Heather, we haven't seen you forever and ever. Is that ever amazing that you popped in today? That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It's been a long time, but I'm certainly happy that you're still kicking around with us. That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, Nancy's been keeping me updated, but I thought it was no better or no worse than any other city in the States, right? But supposedly Seattle is really, really having a rough time right now. And they're making that noise and making that mess and having those protests and being really idiots, right? In Seattle. So she's a little bit nervous. Oh, definitely, Heather. Definitely. It's all good. I'm really pleased though that you pop in every once in a while, right? That is actually quite amazing. It's really amazing how long people have actually stuck around with me, right? Yeah. And I'm going to make sure it's well worth it. You're going to see some serious movement this year. And I've been writing down here. I have to come up with a plan, right? And it doesn't have to be super complicated. It has to be budget-wise. It has to make it, because I want to get down to the very bare minimums of what I spend. Unless something is for resale, I have to cut back what I spend at work. I'm going to have to give myself an allowance, maybe $15 for resale items every payday, and say $15 for personal items every payday, and it could carry over. So if I didn't spend anything this week, then that means that next week it would be $30. So that's enough to buy a piece of furniture and stuff. And because there's a couple of things I need. I need a bistro set. I need a little bookshelf. I need a little end table. I need some little kind of cabinet for the bathroom where I can store some things, right? I went for a trip to the hardware store today, and I got magnets for my cupboards because I have poltergeist cupboards because the cupboard doors keep swinging open and it drives me crazy. So I got some cabinets, and so I thought maybe tonight I would install those. And yeah, just like I thought I would do the laundry today, and I would do the linen closet. And I said I was going to do the jewelry, go through all my jewelry and see what I have, all those things that I picked up at work. It was really into the bucket today to find a piece of jewelry that would match my outfit, and the only thing I could find was this, but which had the yellow that kind of matched the sweater. So I grabbed that. But when I grabbed it, I looked at all my other things, right? And I thought, oh my goodness, I have a lot of, for somebody who doesn't wear jewelry on the norm, I sure have a lot of jewelry. But I limited it. I do stretchy bracelets and I do earrings, right? I'm not really big on necklaces unless they're silver. In that case, I would just purchase them and then put them in my silver jar so that I could sell them, right? And put the money towards a car, right? Because that's the plan. A car. Second weekend, I'm going to put my notice in this week. I'm going to talk to my manager this week and just see how much notice I have to give her to have weekend after May long weekend off, right? Weekend after May long weekend off. I want 3 days off. At the very minimum, I want 3 days off. And I want to go camping. I want to go camping in one of my favorite places in the entire world where I'll have the whole wilderness all to myself, where I'll be the only person there, right? It's going to be amazing. Oh, I go fast too, Andrew. I don't slow down. I might go slower in one aspect only so that I can take more in another aspect. But the amount of speed that I put into things, the amount of effort that I put into things, yeah, that hasn't really changed that much. But to go a little bit slower, to have that pressure, that financial pressure off my shoulders that, I'm going to become homeless, right? That fear, that scared, that sense of, oh my goodness, right? That I'm going to fall back and I'm going to be dependent on somebody else again, right? And I'm going to run into those difficulties again. Right. It hasn't changed. Those difficulties are still there. They're just going to be different difficulties. It's like a little bit of graduation from one problem just to start tackling another one, right? But yeah, I was a little bit worried about Nancy, but I know Nancy. If there's any way that she can pop in today, I know that she would pop in and say hello. But she is concerned about what's going on in her own city, right? And I told her, I says, get yourself a passport, come hang with me, right? I have a stable roof over my head now. I have a Oh, of course, Sharon. Of course, Sharon. My cat got me through a really rough year this year. You grumbled about that cat when your son brought your cat to your place, right? But look at how much joy and happiness these pets of ours bring us, right? She pulled me through out of a pretty tough year, and she's actually laying here on the little end stool with me, staring out at the window, trying to take a nap as I'm bugging her, right? Or she's just hoping that I'm going to open up her bag of treats and throw some treats up in the air for her to go and chase, right? But yes, I'm very happy here. I'm very good. I'm going to try not to interact. I'm already meeting people I know here, right? And I don't mind people knowing my name. They obviously know what apartment I live in, but they don't need to know where I work. They don't need to know any of my interactions. Of course, they're going to know that Alice is my sister, right? That one of my sister lives here, but I don't want them to know my personal life, and I don't want any of these people. In fact, I don't want any of them to be in my apartment, right? I want to have a life outside of this building. I know I've got to shine my light, and I'm going to wish everybody well, right? But there's no need for them to be too close to me, right? To be too close to me. I want to do my work outside of my living. What is it? what's that saying? Don't poop where you work. Something like that. Right? Like, I want to make sure that my work life and my home life are absolutely separate. And I thought, oh, what a great opportunity, Cindy. You can do tarot cards, you can do mindset, you can maybe put a class on, because there are workshops and craft shops and activity rooms and things like that here, right? They have big yard sales and garage sales out in the front all the time, right? Where I'll be able to sell a lot of these things that I purchased, but hopefully we'll get those online. I picked up a few things this week. I picked up a Corningware percolator for $7. I'm going to sell it for maybe $60. I buy it now for $60. I got some silver. I got a silver wedding band. I got a few things, right? Like I said, the goal is to try to find $100 worth of stuff every single week. So that means I'm putting away into savings $400 a month. And because I'm buying this car second week of May, I have January, February, March, and April. So January is almost done. So I have February, March, and April, and half of May to make enough money for a vehicle. And if you think that I can, if each week, if I can find $100 worth of stuff, that's $400 a month. That's $1,200 worth of product that I can sell to make $1,200. And I can add that with my income tax return, right? Which would make it maybe $2,200. And then add a free paycheck, which might be, right, minus a few bills, another $500, which would bring it to $2,700. Plus, on top of that, I want to be saving. I want to be saving some money. So $2,700 plus whatever I'm saving. So if I can save $1,300 between now and second week of May, I could have a $4,000 vehicle. $4,000 vehicle would be safety, right? I would be able to get something safety that would be able to last me a couple of seasons at the very least, just until I can get back on my feet and actually maybe purchase something a little bit newer with maybe some guarantees and some good mechanical warranties and stuff. So you know what? We're going to start off slow. We're not going to go over exuberant. Yes, I still want my Rubicon Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, right? I really still do. 2021. Big tires, big bar lights, big bull bar, chromed out, right? Chrome steps. I want that. But it doesn't need to, if that happens in 2026, I get the 2021 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. I'm good with that too, right? All I want is to get back on the road. That's all I want. I want to get back on the road, and I'm going to take my cat with me, right? She's a good cat, and I think it would only take a couple of days for her to get used to being in the car, and yeah, I think it will be absolutely fine, and I'll be able to take her on the road with me. But for right now, I'm going to apply myself at work. I'm not cutting my hours back. I'm going to work whatever my boss gives me for hours. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to take the hours and be grateful for them. And then maybe in the spring, right, when summer comes and it gets a little bit busier, right, then she'll be able to hire an extra hand, and then she'll be able to afford to give me an extra day off a week. And then that day I will also apply to my brand, right? So I'll have 3 days. Maybe I could do 1 day off for me and 2 days for my brand and 4 days for work. Maybe I could make something work that way, right? Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll show you a couple of them. I bought 2 kettles, Dave. I'm making a stew right now. It smells so good. I got my stew beef. My stew beef simmering so nice and tender. This is the one I got, Dave. Look at. and I scrubbed it. It's like in brand new condition. I took an SO, had to, because it was really stained. It had lots of coffee stains and stuff on it. But look how shiny clean that is. No dings on it at all. It's in perfect shape. The enamel inside, whoops, there's still water in there. The enamel inside is really decent, right? A little bit of shadowing on the bottom, but I cleaned it really good and polished it up. These things are amazing. You know, I know my mom would have loved one of these. You know, these are from the 70s, right? They were really, really popular. And yeah, a percolator. But before I sell it, I'm going to make sure that I will percolate a pot of coffee into this. So this is the one that I'm selling, but I got a second one also. And this one is my camping one, right? I have two. So this one, you just put your water in there, right? And then this one has the holes at the bottom, right? This one has the holes on the bottom. So you put the coffee in the bottom of this, and then you set it back in the water, and you put it on your stove, your camping pit. And this one is also will percolate, right? This one will also make a beautiful, but this one is my camping one. This is the one I'm going to be using for camping, and the other one I am selling, and that's going towards my car. I paid a little bit more. I don't normally pay $7 for an item, but I know these are worth a lot of money. I know there are people out there who collect corning, and because now people, they like to do their own coffee. They like to make fresh coffee. That these have become very, very popular again. But, you know, when I put my auction on, people, I will let everybody know where my auction is. So, because if you want any of these things that I purchase, then you guys will be able to take a look at some of these things. Kathy, I got my picture frame. Look at how, whoopsie. What happened to the camera? Oh, I knocked it over here. Here it goes. Here we go. Whoopsie. Ah, Cindy. Ah. Oh, Cindy. See what I mean? I broke my tripod. I took it to Assiniboine Forest so that I could make, that's better. I took it to Assiniboine. Wow, it's crooked. I took it to Assiniboine Forest so I could do some YouTube videos, and I leaned on it when I was on the bus. And it snapped my tripod that was in my backpack. It snapped my tripod. But this is, look at the beautiful frame I put this in, right? Kathy did this for me. Kathy colored this. This represents me so well, right? She's a mystic wanderer. She's the same person as I am, right? A little bit naive, a little bit eccentric, a little bit of a traveler, a little bit of magic, a little bit of miracles, a little bit of Mother Nature, right? And look at the beautiful frame. Look at the cherry wood on this, right? And beautiful, non-reflective, right? Look at how well you can see that picture. Look how well you can see the colors of that picture. Kathy did that for me. And then she mailed it to me from Nova Scotia. Look at the candy. Right? Look at the fireflies. Look at the fireflies in the little case purse, right? And the little flying saucers and the carousel on her head, right? And what do you call these things again? Not time capsule, time. What is this, everybody? Andrew, I need you. Right? And I got one of those too. But, you know, in reality, there really isn't time, right? There is no, right? We chase things, and that's all we're doing is moving in our evolution, right? And it's got nothing to do with the time. But, you know, as humans, we think time is important, don't we? Oh, I got some Tupperware this week too. I always buy those Dollarama juice jugs and they hourglass. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Oh, Norm's here. Holy cow. We haven't seen Norm for ages either. Hi, Norm. How have you been so much? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And it's good that you do it on premium because premium actually pays better than just regular YouTube, right? You have to pay for commercials and stuff. You just pay your flat fee of $9.99 or whatever it is. I know if I wasn't on such a budget, I would do the premium too, right? I would skip all those ads and all those commercials. There would be lots of things that I would do though, right? I would get right into, there are different courses and things that I would love to take, right? And there's a lot of online programs and a lot of my favorite thought leaders have programs and stuff that I would love to join in on and stuff, right? But I know if I asked too, they would let me in, and say, oh, just one day, take care of it. But I don't want to be a charity case. I don't want to be a charity case. I want to pay my own way when I go to these events, and I have. When I hadn't had any money, when I was flat broke, when I needed other things, I came up with that money to go off and do these things that I wanted to. And it made me feel really good that I did it all on my own, that I set these goals and I achieved these goals, but I wanted everybody to see. But even the glass, like non-reflective, isn't that beautiful? I just love this. So I was trying to decide, where am I going to hang it? Where am I going to hang it? And you know what? I'm not hanging it. I love it sitting exactly right here so that when I get up in the morning and I sit at my desk, it's right there. It's right. I can look at it every single morning, right? That I can sit there and I can look at it every morning and know that it represents me 100%. It represents me very, very well. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to have it, right? It reminds me that I'm on a journey, that it isn't a rush. Like, enjoy your life, Cindy, right? It's about moving forward, right? And enjoying the ride. Right? It's at 1979, right? Yeah, Corningware is very popular. When it comes into work, it gets picked up right away by the resellers and stuff. But when this kettle came onto the floor and somebody was going to price it really, really cheap, I says, nah, you better take that back to the manager and have him check the price on that. It's a good one. And if he doesn't price it right, then I'm going to buy it. And I bought it anyway. He priced it pretty high anyway, because it turned out to be worth $70 or $80. So I thought maybe, pick it up. I get a little staff discount. It might have cost me $6 or $7, but that I might make $50 on that. And that's $50. I'm just going to change the lighting here. That would be $50 that I could put towards my car, right? That could be $50 that I could put towards my car. So I was pretty excited about that when I picked that up. I don't care what it costs. If I can 4 times the profit of what I put into it, for sure. There were a couple of things I picked up. I picked up this beautiful piece of satin glass, and there were 2 big platters. They were worth $250 each. I took the piece that I thought was the prettiest, but it wasn't worth the most. This one's worth about $50 or $60, but I only paid $1.50 for it. I only paid $1. Look at the beautiful painted. We had to check them because we weren't sure if they were decals or not, but they were actually hand painted on there. But yeah, that'll go in the auction, and I will get $50 or $60 for that. So for an investment of $1.50, right? For an investment. And I've got a lot of stuff like that in here. I have a ton of stuff like that in here. I picked this up for 75 cents yesterday. It's a piece of Nippon, right? It's a piece of Nippon. It's not huge profit. I only paid 75 cents, but I'll make $10 on it. And it will cost me absolutely nothing to ship. And I'll probably be able to add a little bit and make a couple of extra dollars just in the shipping, right? Because if the shipping is $10, I charge $12 just to make sure if I have to get insurance or something, right? So I will make my $10, right? Will be my profit, and the $2 will cover what I paid for it, right? So the only thing I'm doing is a little bit of labor of packing it up in a box and sending it off into the mail, right? But I have stuff like that all over the place. Whoopsie. I have so much of it. I had to pick up a big file cabinet in order to hold it. But, you know, it also helped me also when I decided that I was going to be moving and deciding whether or not to keep certain items. You know, it helped me to say, okay, you don't have to throw this away. What we'll do is we'll sell it, right? I have all these antique Valentine's Day cards, like unused in the package, very, very old ones, very old antique. But, you know, I'm going to sell these too. And now would actually be the perfect time to sell these ones. Maybe I could get maybe $30 for all of them. I don't know how many Valentines I have. I probably have about 10 of them in here. But, you know, you could see how old they are. You could see, where's the camera? You could see how old some of these Valentines are, right? You can see how old they are. And some of them are actually quite delicate too, right? Some of them are actually quite delicate. Can you believe Valentine's Day is coming up, right? Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day is coming up, right? And these are so cute. They're just absolutely adorable little antique Valentine's card. I used to collect the strangest things, right? But, you know, some things I never got rid of. I just made sure that, you know, there's another one of those kind of cards, right? I just made sure that they went to somebody who actually appreciated them, right? When I got rid of my art, I was feeling bad that I had collected all that art for all those years, and I was taking all that art to work, and I was just going to donate it all. And I actually met the woman who was collecting that art that I had collected. So it warmed my heart to know that the lady who bought my art was somebody who actually was an artist herself. She spent a great deal of time in Prague studying some of the great artists of the world. And she had her favorite artist, but she really liked my paintings, and she liked the stories behind them. And it warmed my heart to know that those paintings were going to somebody who was actually going to love on them, and that it was just going to a reseller that was going to, no matter what, those paintings would have found their homes. And some of those paintings were not that great. It was the frames that were so amazing, right? It was the frames that were worth all the money out there. But, you know, I haven't gone through any of this stuff really yet, only because I'm trying to get settled into my apartment. And as soon as I'm settled into my apartment, I'm going to go through this stuff, and I'm going to start listing it, right? I got some Vaseline glass. You could put all this stuff here. You guys got me looking. I got a whole bunch of my chili bowls. Do you remember the Fire King? Look how pretty those blue. They're chili bowls, right? They're actually Fire King. They're from the 60s and 70s. Like our generations, we've got to remember these things, right? I'm just looking at everything in there. There's so much. There's so much. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll do a haul. Video. That's what we'll do. And then when I list them on eBay, when I finally start the auction, I'll make sure that I let everybody know what day the auction is so that everybody can join in and watch Cindy, right? Watch Cindy make some money to go towards her car. $4,000 will get me a decent vehicle to go camping. You know what? And living in here, after I buy that vehicle, how cheap it will be, right? Because a cheaper vehicle will be cheaper car insurance. I'll be able to get back on the road. And not only, I'm not going to get an editing program. I'm actually going to hire an editor, right? Somebody who actually will maybe want some mentorship, maybe a little bit of mentorship. I can help them along in mindset and mindfulness, right? And help them move forward in their own evolutions, help them start their own YouTube channels or their own Instagram, get them started on social media, or maybe becoming a thought leader themselves, right? A little bit of bartering, right? It's not transactions. We're not doing transactions. We're doing bartering. These are totally different ideas. It's saying, I've got a little bit of this, right? You know, when your wife, in the old days, when your wife had a baby, was having a baby, and you know, she's having a baby, go get the doctor, and the dad would jump on his horse and ride the horse overnight to go chase after a doctor, and the doctor would come in and deliver the baby in the homestead, right? And he'd get paid in a bag of potatoes and a chicken, right? We're moving into those kind of days again, and we should take advantage of the fact that we're in this digital age and take advantage of it by actually learning, right? Actually spending this time online and actually interacting with each other, drawing out as much information that will help you to move forward, right? And I highly recommend everybody to follow Cindy Vlogs. She hangs out here too, right? You guys all know Cindy. She has her own urban exploration channel on YouTube, right? She lives out in Nevada, right? And she's a great survivalist, right? She does little things that you know will help you get by, right? And canning and different hacks and things when things start getting tough. Because I think we're going to be moving into this age, right? I know Melvin's probably got his own ideas on these things, right? Because, you know, it's religions and politics and different cultures, right? They all have an impact in how these things run in the world and how the world moves forward that way. I mean, nobody can take away how we feel about things unless we allow them to, right? Nobody can change the way we think about things unless we allow them to, but we're always impacted by the way the world moves, right? And the world moves in some very strange ways sometimes, and we've learned that, right? Who in my audience here has gotten their flu shot yet? Has anybody in my audience gotten their flu shot yet? I know the nurses that I work close to a hospital and the healthcare workers, they like to come in all the time. But yeah, they've been getting their vaccines. Like I'm meeting lots and lots of people right now that are getting the vaccines. Here in Manitoba, they are starting with the doctors and nurses and healthcare workers. I'm going to assume because we're a charity and stuff that we will also, and because we work with the vulnerable, that we'll also get our flu shots. Also, if we don't get them through my work, probably from the building I live in, because there are lots of vulnerable in the building I live in too, right? There's a lot of people in wheelchairs and walkers, a lot of seniors, a lot of people with health issues and financial issues living in the building that I'm living in. So I'm going to assume too, being vulnerable, they will have that team come here maybe and vaccinate us all here too. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to have to go. You just came back from a trip to Disney World. Dave, how are you managing this? And what's Disneyland being open for? Are you kidding me? Serious. I just don't understand. I just don't understand these amusement parks being open like that in the midst of a coronavirus. That is absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Not coming aboard or anything, because we do need to find ways to feel like human beings. And what an amazing trip. And I also know that Cindy, right, from Cindy Vlogs also, she did a trip to Florida for Disneyland, and she spent Christmas in Disneyland this year. So that's pretty amazing that, you know, where you guys can find those little bits of peace and that little bit of happiness and joy and fun, right? In this midst of crazy going on in this world. That's actually quite amazing feat. And that's impressive, Dave. But I hope you're staying safe. I really truly hope that you're staying safe, and I hope you're keeping others safe too, because even though you might get the vaccination and everything, you got to think too, it's cause and effect, right? So if you get somebody sick, even though you don't have the virus, you could touch something that was dirty and give somebody else the virus, and then that's cause and effect, and that works against you, right? But yeah, it was, right? I am so thirsty. So my manager taught me into this thing. This thing is a wireless microphone. I guess you plug it in and you connect it to your computer, and you just have to get a wireless microphone and yeah, I don't know, walk around your apartments and stuff and do my video. I don't know. For $2, I bought it, but you know what? I might have to sell it, right? I don't know if it even works or anything. I didn't get any cords with it, but we got lots of cords at work. It'd be easy to find cords. I think all you have to do is plug in a microphone to that. Oh no, you don't even plug in a microphone because it's wireless, professional wireless microphone. Yeah, I have to Google. What I do is I usually Google reviews when I'm trying to figure out how to work things, right? Try to figure out how to work things. But, every once in a while, like I got an amazing set of headphones at work. I got it for $1.50, and the sound is killer. The sound is killer, right? And I remember my dad. My dad was all about stereos and albums. My dad always had the neighborhood's best stereo. He used to have these, like, oh my goodness, that speakers that were bigger than I was. They were so huge, right? And he would just love to just blast them to the whole neighborhood. But yeah, my dad loved music, and he loved his headphones. But I remember my dad's headphones. They were just like great big donuts on the side of his head, right? On the side of his head. And I would remember lots of times when my dad would go off fishing, and that stereo would be mine, right? And I would sit there with the headphones on, and I would just play my dad's classical music. And there were a few. I really liked Stravinsky. When it came to classical music, Stravinsky was probably my Tchaikovsky too. Tchaikovsky and Stravinsky. The other ones, right? But those two, their music, I could just play over and over and over again and never, ever get bored with it. I also liked the marching bands. I know it sounds funny, right? But marching bands, I love the marching bands. And there was a set of drums that worked like professional, those ones where the cadets would play, where you have the strap around you and the big drum. I almost bought one. I'm going to buy the bowls. I'm going to buy the singing bowls. The moment they'll come into the store, two little metal ones, the little Chinese ones, the little brass ones, those came into the store. And I was going to buy them, but they were priced a little bit high for me. And I'm keeping an eye open for the alabaster ones. And when the alabaster singing bowls come, I'm going to buy them. And I wouldn't mind the metal drums too. I need to learn a musical instrument, and I decided that's what I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn. They're the bowls, right? The bowls, you can buy them, metal bowls. The Jamaicans use them, right? And they usually use sticks, and they bang and make music on the inside. But that's what I'm going to do. My dad, I don't know if my dad was a rocker, because, my dad was very dynamic when it came to his idea of music. He liked all kinds of music. I remember my dad was right into Santana. Like, he loved Santana. Santana was probably my dad's favorite band, right? But my dad loved the classical music too. My dad loved all kinds of music, right? My mother, well, was probably Elvis Presley, right? With my mom, it was probably Elvis Presley. But with me, it was always the idols, right? I was a Donny Osmond fan. I was a David Cassidy fan. Uh, Bobby Sherman. Do you guys remember Bobby Sherman? I was a Bobby Sherman. Bay City Rollers. Renee Simard. I don't know if he's even kicking around. I have not heard about this guy for decades. He was a young French teenager. He was popular when Donny Osmond was popular, but he was a Canadian Frenchman. But his name was Renee Simard, and I was madly in love with Renee Simard. But I remember we used to follow like the Bay City Rollers. Bay City Rollers really liked Canada because they were here all the time. And I was madly in love with Derek from the Bay City Rollers. But these are our idols, right? These are the lights. These are the lights that we are drawn to, right? And we come across these people numerous times in our lifetime, right? Lots of people shine. Everybody shines in some aspect of their life. And we're attracted to this. This is what law of attraction is, right? And when our emotions get all tied up in these love for people that we don't even know, right? That we've never had a conversation with. Like, how could I be in love with Donny Osmond, right? How can some 16-year-old girl be madly in love with Justin Bieber? Or how can a guy be madly in love with, say, oh God, there's so many female singers like Gwen Stefani and stuff. These are all idols. These, right? That's what they call them, idols. And that's because of the attraction, because we are attracted to their light and we become obsessed with it. And, and we shouldn't be, but we are, right? And it's neat. So that's how come we all have different tastes and we recognize light in different forms. So even though I'm attracted to, say, Donny Osmond's light, right? You guys are all going, right, at the same time, but you're attracted to somebody else's light, right? You may be a favorite author, maybe it be favorite dancer, singer, or favorite philosopher, favorite teacher, right? I love the Bay City Rollers. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't even know if they're a band or if they do, maybe they do like the old days and they get together and they do reunions or something. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, my dad liked his stereo wear. And it's funny because when those old stereos come into our store, like people donate them when people pass away, their estate gets cleared out. And a lot of these stereos and a lot of these speakers, they end up at our stores, right? And they're so popular. People stumble all over themselves to purchase these ones. They actually go into the auction windows. We got 2 in the auction windows right now. And they are good sellers and they go for good money too. People really, really like that vintage stuff. Right? Blondie? I was a Pat Benatar fan. With me, I was all about Pat Benatar. I loved her music. And there was another one. What was her name? She ended up getting muscular dystrophy or something. She was really popular when Cyndi Lauper and Pat Benatar were singing. She was very popular too. And she ended up getting muscular dystrophy, some kind of disease like that. And it affected her speech and everything. And she wasn't able to sing anymore. Well, do you know how popular that vintage stuff, that retro stuff is, Andrew? It's worth a lot of money. The old lamps and stuff, holy moly, it will blow your mind right now. 60s, 70s, and 80s are very, very popular. Anything over 100 years old is considered an antique, but because already we're into the what is considered an antique now is the it's on the tip of my tongue right now. With the flapper dancers and everything, what's the era that I'm thinking of? Right on the tip of my tongue. I normally know it, but I'm tired now. I'm trying to stuff my days up full of stuff, and yeah, I do the best I can, right? But I can see I'm pooping out, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Cindy, you have to clean something tonight. You have to clean something tonight. I just love the feel of this glass, right? This is just the prettiest piece of glass that I've seen in a long time. And yeah, she's worth $60. I paid $1.50 for it. So I'm really excited about putting this auction on and selling some of these things, right? Because like you said, it's the 50s, 60s, 70s that are really, really popular right now. I've got these things too. I've got lots of chalkware, actually. I have tons of chalkware. And I got these little chalkware China couple, right? And they're studying. I don't know if they're bookends. I don't think they're bookends, but wouldn't they make good bookends? They would make lovely bookends, right? And put a few books in between those. But, I paid 75 cents each for this Devonware. It's all, you can see it's got its tag Devonware. And I've got some great big Chinese red ones with some deer on it too. And I'll sell those. And I know those are worth $60 for the pair too. Right, the art, that's what I was trying to figure out there, Andrew. Thank you. Yeah, the Art Deco, the Art Nouveau, and now it's considered antique, right? Because now it's 100 years old. So that era is now called antique. But there isn't a lot of it, and it's very recognizable. So when the Art Nouveau comes up, it's picked up really, really, really fast. A lady at my work picked up a Gucci blouse. She came up to the till, and my eyes popped out of my head when I saw that it was Gucci. I said, I couldn't believe it, because usually I hang the clothes. But because of the COVID virus and the extra precautions and things, and because I work so fast, I can multitask, and I could pretty much run the show up the front by myself. I have to be up at the front. So somebody else has been doing the clothes, and a Gucci blouse got away, and I missed out on a Gucci blouse. It was too small for me, right? But I would have bought it to sell it. Probably would have been worth $300 or $400 guaranteed. Same with the Chanel. We got to keep our eyes open for the Chanel. But those things, kind of items, those aren't things that I snag. Those things are items that are worth big money, and any employee should know that they're worth big money, and they should be turned over to the manager, so the manager could choose whether or not to put them into the auctions, right? So, we put on beautiful auction windows. We've gotten so many compliments on it already. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, we got some pretty neat things. We got some Hudson Bay items. We got some indigenous art. We got some Star Wars. We've got some Boston Bruins. We've got some Coca-Cola. We've got elephants. We've got all kinds. We got art glass. So many neat things, right? My cat is snoring. She's fast asleep and she's snoring. She's so cute. My cat is so cute, but she's such a meatball. She's so big and fat and round, right? But I got to remember, after my live show, I have to pull my fridge away from the wall, because it's actually vibrating against the wall, and the noise is irritating me a little bit, right? Right? I don't like to hear it in the background. Usually it's pretty quiet in here. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy to have a roof over my head. I'm very grateful that everything worked out well for me the way that it did. I'm grateful that I can take my time now and go through my things and settle in, clean my cupboards. I can pick up a few things. I am done now spending any money, right? I am on spend money lockdown, so it's going to be hard. So the first thing I want to do is I need to figure out, am I allowed to have a cup of coffee from like a donut shop during the course of the day? I don't think so. I usually do 2 of those a day. I think I'm going to have to limit myself to 3 coffees a week that I'm allowed to have. I've got a lot of points accumulated. They have reward points, and I started collecting my points instead of taking, because I knew I was going to be budgeting myself and I wouldn't be able to purchase coffee. But I have points, and I have stamp cards from McDonald's that I filled out. So I got lots of free coffees there too. And you know what? If I can tie it up with an outing or a little explore or something, right, and make it an event, right, because I will have an entertainment. I don't know how much I'm going to allow myself yet. I'll be thinking about it during the course of the night as I'm fixing my shelves or in tomorrow morning. And I will have that plan in place by 7 p.m. No, it has to be in the morning. No, it doesn't. It could be by 7 p.m. because I know I'm not spending any money, and that's my only goal for tomorrow is I'm not spending any money. I spent what I needed. I got my hardware items that I needed to secure my shelves and do the few repairs in my apartment that I needed to do. I have a poltergeist in my kitchen cupboards. They keep swinging open every time I look. Okay, they're closed. But they're always opening up on me, right? So I went and I picked up, and they were $5 each. I wanted to buy 6 of them, but I only bought 2. But that's okay. I'll make those 2 work, and I'll put them on my 2 worst cupboards. But that's what my plan is, right? For the next few months, for the next 3 months, I'm going to concentrate on my brand. I'm going to concentrate on cutting back on processed sugar. I've been doing really good not going on the flour. Even when I went off the diet, right? Besides Christmas Eve when I made bread, and I didn't even eat the bread that much. I really didn't. I made it because I wanted it, but I didn't really eat it. It was just a mind thing. I just wanted to emotionally feel like I could have bread, right? But I've been really, really good, not bread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back on the processed sugar. I know sugar is bad. Sugar was something the world didn't really have. We sweeten things with honey. We sweeten things, but we didn't use processed sugar until the 15th century when the traders brought it into Europe, right? When the traders brought the sugar, we got hooked on it, right? And they actually did tests on bodies that were buried, and they tested the teeth of people from the 15th century with the teeth of the people from the 16th century. And there was tons of rot that, like, they would make a shape of a steak with pure sugar, and they would use food coloring and stuff and color it all up and everything. And they would serve that to their guests, right? It was a status thing. If you serve sugar to people, it was a status thing. It was saying, I've got some money. I can waste money. I can offer the guests to my house sugar, right? By the time the 17th century came along, sugar was so readily available. It was even available to the low incomes and the middle income families, right? But again, it was still very costly, and it was still a status activity, having sugar. And what you would do is you would have afternoon tea where you would have dainties and things, and people would come over. And you know that saying, right? 1 lump or 2. Would you like 1 lump or 2 for your tea? Because if you invited a man or somebody who didn't have too much money, or somebody who was going to have a cup of tea where in their real life it would have been a magnificent treat, it would stop them from overtaking sugar, right? They wouldn't say, 4 lumps, because I could take easily 4 sugar cubes in a cup of coffee. But when somebody asks you 1 lump or 2, everybody's going to say 2 lumps of sugar, right? Because it was a treat. It was a treat, right? But sugar is not, and actually even during the Civil War, sugar was worth more than gold was. Sugar was worth more than what gold was. So, sugar is not something that we should be having. We don't need to have sugar. We can get those sweetness through other ways. Artificially, we can make sugar artificially, even though supposedly those things aren't good. But a lot of that stuff could be propaganda too, because it hurts the sugar companies, right? It stops you from buying chocolate bars and pop and things like that. When people slam the sugar twin, right, and try to make you swing back to sugar, because I've done that too, where I go, oh, I don't feel good. Maybe it's all that sugar twin I'm taking in, and then I'm just going to do sugar for a little while. And you try a little bit of sugar in your coffee, knowing it's only 30 calories per teaspoon. You say, well, that's not very much, considering, you can have 1,000 calories a day and still lose a little bit of weight if you're walking or exercising with swimming or bike riding or something, right? I don't do high impact exercise. I don't do weightlifting or running or jogging. I don't do any of that, right? I like enjoyable activity. I like to be in Mother Nature, but I like to do walks. I like to ride bikes. I like to swim. I like the light impact exercise. Exercise that gives me momentary space that I could actually contemplate and relax and feel safe, right? That high impact, you have to concentrate. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt, right? You're carrying a 300-pound weight and you're working on that. That's no time to be off in the clouds and contemplating life. You better concentrate on that barbell, or it's going to land around your neck, right? So that's how I figure it anyway. So I'm cutting way back on sugar. I've decided. So this is it. I've been writing things down, right? So I'm going to become my affirmations. I have my affirmations here. I don't know who out there does affirmation. Affirmations is something where you start your day off, and I have a page of affirmations and I read them every day. And you can do your own affirmations. You can do affirmations that suit your life, that make you feel good. You started off by saying, I am, and then you fill it out. Okay, so let me give you an example. I'll read you my affirmations. And I try to read this every single morning. It's sitting on my desk every day. So before I turn my computer on, and I don't always get to turn my computer on in the morning because I have to get ready for work and do a live show and do a few dishes in the sink and stuff. But I do my affirmations, right? I do my affirmations. So this is an example of what I do. And yours will be different, but you always start with I am. I am grateful. I am light. I am doing well emotionally and physically. I am happy. I am healthy. I am caring. I am abundant. I am generous. I am attractive. I am interesting. I am brilliant. I am considerate. I am adventurous. I am brave. I am courageous. I am balanced. I am loved. I am love. Right? And I read that every day. And like I said, it's about the repetitiveness, right? So I'll read this tomorrow morning, and maybe I might not resonate with a half a dozen of these affirmations that I did, but the next day I might, right? But it's just a repetitive. So it comes to the point where I'm not just reading these, I'm feeling these. And this is what I try to do, right? Because then I go in here. I am healthy. I am caring. I am abundant. I'm generous, right? I'm attractive. I'm interesting, right? So you put your feeling into it and you put the thought of what you're saying into it, and you do this every single day, right? Affirmations. I do affirmations every single day, and it helps lots. It helps me lots. It makes me think that I'm a good person, right? And it doesn't make me think I'm a good person. It makes me realize that I'm a good person, right? But some of us have had lives that kind of beat us down. Lots of us are caregivers, where our thoughts and concerns go towards other people and not towards ourselves, right? So it's important to take that time and reflect for yourself, right? To actually to actually think well of yourself, because a lot of us have poopy lives, poopy childhoods, right? Sometimes our parents mean well, but their own upbringings mold them, right? And shape them into the people that they are. And sometimes their pain becomes an outreach into your life, right? And it affects you. And, it's important that when we have these limiting beliefs about ourselves, when we reflect on ourselves, and it comes how we feel about ourselves is reflected on how other people think about us, right? What other people think about us, because nobody wants people to think badly of us, right? Nobody does. So what we do is we end up paddling and doing things for people and saying things to people so that they will like us, right? But the thing is, also, when you do that, what happens is you're not yourself. It's important always, always, always to, at the very least, be yourself, right? So don't pop up other people unless you truly mean it, right? Yeah, it's very important that you don't, because what you're doing is you're saying something to somebody and they're going to bite onto it and believe it. And if you don't believe what you're saying to them, you're not giving them a proper lesson in life, right? You're only giving them hope, right? And hope isn't always a good thing, right? Hope isn't always a good thing. Yeah. Hope to me is a word of procrastination. Hope is a word that makes it so people sit there in their haunches and sit still, waiting for other people to come and rescue them, right? I'm optimistic everything is going to work out well. But when you put hope into a word, is giving up your power, right? That's giving the power to something else or someone else, right? In the hopes of making your life better, right? You're depending on something else to do it for you, right? So anyway, those are my affirmations, right? So I'm cutting back on the sugar. I'm getting even more. I'm going to do another page of affirmations, even better one. So I'm going to have 2 pages of affirmations. My lessons are not going to start. They're going to change, right? I'm going to delve into some deeper ideas about life, right? Because, we got to this stage. We got to this stage together, right? And we took in those lessons, but now we're moving forward and there are going to be new lessons to take in, but we won't know what they are until they're revealed to us, right? So in the meantime, we just keep moving forward. We just keep living our lives, just doing the best that we can by ourselves. But not, well, we got 6 minutes, people. Keep doing the best by ourselves, right? Try to move forward. Try and do a little bit of kindness along the way, right? So let's go back and look at some of these comments, because your comments are flowing today and I'm missing a whole bunch. So I'm going to go back a little bit of ways here, all the way up to, where am I going to start? Okay, the last comment I read was one from, okay, here we go. Mook House, Saturday night, right? That's when I said SATURDAY night. Okay, Bay City Rollers. That's where I ended off. So yeah, you guys have been yapping. Isn't that strange, Kathy or Sharon? Because I had Donny Osmond posters all over my bedroom, and we had bunk beds, right? And I used to keep my posters underneath my bunk bed, but my mother would never look on the ceiling of the bunk bed to see what I had up there. So she had no idea. And one time, somebody, I don't know if it was my dad or my mom, and I had a Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson was popular at the same time as Donny Osmond in the 70s. They were so many generations. Michael Jackson was popular for. Even my youngest sister was a huge fan of Michael Jackson. And that's when Thriller came out, was my baby sister. And she's, oh my gosh, goodness. My youngest sister just turned 50. So I think I'm 8 or 9 years older than my very youngest sister, right? What? Curiosity Incorporated made $280,000 on that auction sale? That's crazy. Just on the jewelry? That is crazy. Wow, Malvin, I didn't know that. Yeah, the Roaring 20s, right? Art Nouveau. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between Art Nouveau and Art Deco, Andrew? Is it just the dates? Because I know Art Deco was the 30s, Art Nouveau was the 20s. Was it the French? Art Nouveau was the French and Art Deco was the American. And I know Art Deco actually had quite a bit in the architecture too. So that's curious. I'd like to know the difference, Andrew, if you have the answer to that. The difference between Art Nouveau and Art Deco. I like jazz. I was actually a really big funk fan. I loved funk. And funk, for those of you who don't know, it was just in that in-between stage, right after disco. It only lasted for a few years, right in between disco and said punk rock was, I don't know, Pink Floyd, when Pink Floyd first came out, remember Rock Lobster and Blondie? And that was 79, 1980. So yes, I would say that funk was probably in the mid 70s, and it was only around for a few years. But boy, was it great music. And it was very danceable music too. It was very danceable music. I just loved the beats and everything to the Art Decos, right? Look how blue my eyes look today, right? With this lighting, it's crazy lighting. Yeah, my eyes look very blue today, even with these terrible glasses. I have to make a eye exam on Wednesday. On Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow. I can make that eye exam tomorrow. Putting it on my list to do. Right? We're getting things done. I'm getting my eye exam done because I realize I have to get my glasses before I get my car. Number one, this isn't the proper prescription for me. I've had a newer prescription, but I ruined those glasses. So this is an old pair of glasses that I have. If I'm going to be off on the back roads driving, I need a decent pair of glasses for that. Number two, I went up to Assiniboine Forest this past week on Sunday, and I was trekking through the woods. I wasn't even on deer trails. I was on squirrel trails or what do you call them? Shrew trails or something. It was bird trails. They were just bird feet. There was hardly any trail at all. And I had tree branches whacking me in the face and everything. And I could have dropped the lens in the snow. And if I had dropped the lens in the snow, I would have had to take time off of work. I would have had to figure out a way to come up with that money for the glasses. I picked up a pair of frames at my work this past week, and I think they're going to work good, but I'm going to keep my eye open for another pair because these ones here don't have screws in order to tighten the lens around them. The lenses are actually popped in there, and I'm not quite sure if they're wide enough to hold my lenses. So I'm going to pick up another. They're very nice glasses, though. Very nice glasses, and we'll see how they look like on me. And I can't really tell here, but this is how these glasses work on me. And what I'll do is I'll also, just like Kathy's picture, right? I will get the anti-glare, just like on the frame on the glass on this one. Look at how nice that looks, right? You know, there's hardly any glare at all on this picture. And I love that glass. So we're gonna get some anti-glare. So see how that glare just all over. And these are transitions too. So during the daytime, and when the light hits it, they turn into sunglasses, right? And I didn't like the transitions. I was sorry I got the transitions as soon as I got them. But it is what it is. Next time I won't get the transitions, but I do need those special Nikon lenses. I won't get the very best. I'll just get secondary. and that will save me $100. So my glasses should cost me about $500 because the lenses are going to, the glass frames only cost me $1.50. So I saved $300. I saved $300 on the frames, and they're pretty decent frames. They're pretty decent frames. So I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to keep my eye open for another set of frames. Just in case they say, oh, we can't fit those lenses into that frame. I'll say, oh, okay, well then can you fit them into these frames? So I want to have another backup. Those glasses, they do come into work, and I got them for $1.50. And like I said, that saves me $300. And I can't afford to take any time off work, right? Because I won't be able to work. I won't be able to see the cash. I won't be able to see tags to hang clothes up. I won't be able to hang those, period. I'll be absolutely useless to them at work without my glasses. So it's a priority. I do have to get my glasses. I could do inquiries about getting laser surgery. But, you know, if it's going to cost me some extra money, it can wait another time. Right now, let's just get a decent pair of glasses and then just put these glasses back to the emergency so that if anything happens to my new glasses, again, I can pull these out and be okay for a little while, right? Because this worked out. I've been wearing these glasses now for a few months. And even though my eyes are strained a little bit and it makes it so I can't stay up as late as I would like to, that's okay. That's okay. It's adapt and conquer, right? It's adapt and conquer. Moving forward. That's what we do, people. We move forward, right? Let me get back into some of these comments and then we're going to call it a night, right? Cindy's got some few things that she's got to do. And yeah, I just want to read some of these comments. I could smell my stew. I've got to get some carrots in there. It might even have turned like so tender that all the meat shredded, right? Now it's just a big pot full of simmering baby food. That's okay. It still tastes yummy. That would be good. Like just add some cornstarch, a little bit of salt and pepper, and just pour it over toast or bread even, right? Like a hot beef sandwich. It would work that way too. I know it's going to be absolutely delicious no matter what. What? They preserved food using sugar? I didn't know that. Oh, Art Nouveau has okay, I can see that in my mind. Okay, I can see that in my mind. Both are French. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. We're talking about the Art Nouveau, the difference. It's more flowery. And I'm trying to think, yeah, it's more artistic, more creative, right? I get it. It's great it wouldn't be the same without having you here too, Owen. Like all you guys. I'm just my notifications are just popping up now. Let me get rid of them as I'm finishing up all these comments so I can say that I read them all. Right? And we have all been moving forward, and we've been moving forward together, you guys. We're still here. We're still kicking. It would have been nice to have seen Robert. Have we seen Robert in the new year? I really hope so. And Robert, I know you're watching this video. I know you are, right? Pop in next week and let us know. We miss you. We want to know how you've been doing, right? How your family's been treating you, how you've been treating yourself. And yeah, just check in with us just to make sure that everybody is okay. The original title, Casablanca, was Everybody Goes to Rick's. Well, you can imagine that probably wouldn't have been a blockbuster, right? With that name. Everybody Goes to Cindy's. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Okay, everybody. That's it for tonight. We'll see each other on Sunday. And yeah, I'll let you know how I'm progressing. Hopefully we're at that stage where we can actually do the haul, right? Get things ready and see what's sorted out so that we can get ready for our auction, you guys. We're working on a car. That's what we're doing. You guys, you watch me. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm moving forward now. There's no more going backwards. No going backwards. And we're going to do this together, right? We're going to do this together. Okay, everybody. I'm about to have a Charlie horse. I got to go. Bye. Ouch.